Watch this every day and change your life. Nothing in life is truly worthwhile unless you take risks. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Think about your own journey, school, career choices, life decisions. How often have you been told to play it safe? To always have a backup plan? I never understood that mindset. If I fall, I don't want to fall back. I want to fall forward. At least that way, I can see what I'm about to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So, follow what excites you. Chase your passion. Don't be afraid to fail. There was an old IQ test with 9 dots. You had to connect them with 5 straight lines without lifting the pencil. The only way to solve it? You had to think outside the box. So don't be afraid to take risks. Don't fear failure. Dream big, but remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 600 times in his career, more than any player in baseball history. But what do people remember? The home runs. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he finally invented the light bulb. Every failure brings you closer to success. Let me be real with you, at some point, you will fail. You'll lose, you'll get rejected, and you'll struggle. And that's okay. That's part of the process. In the acting world, failure is constant. Early in my career, I auditioned for a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, except for one thing, I couldn't sing. And guess what? I didn't get the job. But I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of that audition ready for the next one. And the next. I failed and failed again. But I kept going. There's an old saying. Hang around the barbershop long enough, and sooner or later, you're gonna get a haircut. And that's exactly what happened to me. Years later, I starred in Fences on Broadway. And guess where it was performed? At the exact same theater where I failed my first audition 30 years earlier. Life has a way of coming full circle. The real question is, do you have the courage to fail? Because if you don't fail, you're not even trying. Imagine you're on your deathbed, surrounded by the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential. The ideas you never pursued. The talents you never used. And they're standing there, looking at you, disappointed. Saying, "We came to you because you had the ability to bring us to life. And now we have to die with you." I ask you today, how many ghosts will be around your bed when your time comes? The world needs you. It needs your talent, your vision, your drive. There are people out there who need help, whether it's in your community, across the country, or around the world. You have something valuable to offer. So, what are you going to do with what you have? It's not about how much you have, it's about what you have. Some of you have wealth. Some have intelligence. Some have creativity. Some have kindness, patience, or resilience. Whatever your gift is, how will you use it? Failure isn't just a possibility, it's necessary. Sometimes, it's the only way to figure out where you're meant to go. When I started college, I wanted to be a doctor. But after struggling in science, I switched to pre-law, then journalism. My grades suffered. Eventually, the university politely suggested I take some time off. I was lost. But then, one day, something happened that changed my life forever. I was at my mother's beauty shop, helping out. When an older woman, someone I had never met before, looked at me in the mirror and said, "Young man, I have a prophecy. You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." At the time, I didn't understand what she meant. But looking back now, she was right. I've traveled the world. I've spoken to millions through my movies, my speeches. People who couldn't see me. But they saw my work. And today, I see you, the next generation, the future. And I am inspired. Taking risks isn't just about career moves. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's about embracing failure, learning, growing, and pushing beyond your limits. The people you meet, the choices you make, the faith you have, these things define you. So never hold back. Never let fear stop you. Give it everything you've got. And when you fall, and you will fall forward. Look around you. Look at the world we live in. It is shaped by the brave. By the ones who refuse to accept limitations, by those who chose to break the mold. And now, it's your turn. No one is coming to hand you your destiny. No one is going to walk this path for you. This is your journey. Your fight. Your moment. Too often, people talk about what they want to do, what they wish they could accomplish. They make lists. They make plans. But they never move. They never take action. They stand still, trapped by the fear of failure, by the fear of judgment, by the fear of stepping into the unknown. But let me ask you, what is worse? The fear of failure? Or the regret of never trying? Because here's a truth you must understand, failure is not the end. It is the beginning. Every setback, every rejection, every painful moment of doubt, these are the building blocks of success. The greatest athletes, the most brilliant minds, the most influential leaders, every single one of them has failed more times than they have succeeded. But they kept going. They understood that failure was not a reason to quit, it was fuel to push harder, to rise stronger, to become greater. And now, it is time for you to rise. The fire inside of you is not there by accident. That dream you have, that vision that won't leave your mind, that deep, burning desire to do more, to be more, it is there for a reason. It is your calling. It is your purpose. So tell me, how long will you keep ignoring it? How long will you keep pushing it aside, making excuses, waiting for the right time? The right time is now. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have everything figured out. All you need to do is take the first step. And then another. And another. And keep moving forward. Even when it's hard. Even when no one believes in you. Even when you start to doubt yourself. Because let me tell you something, there will be days when you want to quit. There will be days when everything feels impossible. But those are the moments that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. The weak stop. The strong push forward. And you are strong. You are capable. You are powerful. You are ready. So rise up. Stand tall. Chase your dreams with everything you have. And when you fall, because you will fall forward. Because that is how you rise. That is how you win. That is how you change the world. There comes a moment in life when you must decide, are you going to be a spectator? Or are you going to be a warrior? Are you going to sit back and watch others chase their dreams while you convince yourself that you're not ready? That you're not good enough? That success is for someone else? Or are you going to stand up and take what is yours? Listen to me. There is no one coming to save you. No one is coming to push you, to carry you, to make your dreams happen for you. That's your job. And I know what you're thinking, but what if I fail? What if you fail? Good. That means you tried. That means you took a step. That means you had the courage to risk something while the rest of the world stood still. Failure is not a curse. It is a blessing. It is the world shaping you, refining you, preparing you for what is coming. Because every single setback you face is not pushing you down, it is pulling you forward. The question is, will you let it? Too many people quit after the first obstacle. They get rejected, they stumble, they lose confidence, and they walk away. But the ones who succeed, The ones who rise. They are the ones who look failure in the face and say, "Is that all you've got?" Because they know, every fall is a lesson. Every no is a redirection. Every loss is a setup for a bigger win. You must train yourself to think like that. You must condition your mind to believe that every single challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Because the world belongs to those who refuse to quit. You see, the graveyard is the richest place on earth. Why? Because it is filled with unwritten books, unstarted businesses, unrealized dreams. It is filled with people who let fear win. Who waited too long. Who played it safe until there was no time left to play at all. And if you do not take action now, if you keep pushing your dreams aside, that is where your potential will stay, buried, silent, forgotten. Is that the legacy you want to leave? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who gave everything? Someone who chased their dreams so fiercely that the world had no choice but to take notice? Let me tell you something. Greatness is not reserved for the lucky. It is not for the chosen few. It is for the ones who get up when they are knocked down. It is for the ones who keep going when the world tells them to stop. It is for the ones who are willing to fight for it. So the next time you feel doubt creeping in, the next time fear tries to pull you back, I want you to remember this: you were made for more. You were built to rise, to lead, to create, to inspire. And the world is waiting for you. So take that first step. Chase that dream. Build that vision. And when you fall, because you will fall, fall forward. Because that is how champions are made. That is how history is written. There will come a day when you look back at your life and ask yourself one question: did I give it everything? Not, did I play it safe? Not, did I avoid failure? But did I live fully? Because the truth is, most people don't. They exist. They follow routines. They do what's expected of them. And in the process, they let their dreams slip away, piece by piece. Until there's nothing left but regret. But that does not have to be your story. Because right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can continue waiting, hoping that somehow, someday, things will change. Or you can decide, enough is enough. Enough playing small. Enough talking yourself out of what you know you were meant to do. Enough settling for less than what you deserve. It's time to step up. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because every second you waste is a second you will never get back. And I know, it's not easy. Fear will tell you to stop. Doubt will make you question yourself. The world will try to convince you that you're not enough. But none of that is real. What's real is your ability to rise. Your ability to fight. Your ability to take what's inside of you and turn it into something extraordinary. Because you have that power. You always have. But power means nothing if you don't use it. And that's what separates the great from the average. Not talent. Not luck. But the decision to act. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep waiting? Keep making excuses? Keep letting fear win? Or are you going to rise? Because the truth is, you don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You need to start. You need to stop thinking and start doing. You need to stop waiting and start moving. And when the world pushes back, when the obstacles come, when failure knocks you down, you get back up. Because champions are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who refuse to stay down. And when you rise unstoppable. There will come a time when you stand at a crossroads. One path will be safe. Predictable. It will be lined with comfort, with familiarity, with everything you've ever known. And the other? The other will be uncertain. It will be filled with challenges. It will demand more of you than you ever thought you could give. And in that moment, you will have to decide, do you want comfort, or do you want greatness? Because you cannot have both. No one who has ever changed the world did so by staying comfortable. No one who has ever built something legendary did so by playing it safe. And the truth is, comfort is the slowest form of destruction. It lulls you into complacency. It convinces you that there is no rush. That there is always more time. That you can chase your dreams someday. But let me tell you something, someday is a lie. It is the most dangerous word in the English language. Because someday is how dreams die. Someday is how potential is wasted. Someday is how people wake up at the end of their lives, filled with regret, realizing that the one thing they never ran out of was excuses. But that will not be you. Because today, you wake up. Today, you stop waiting. Today, you step into the fire and you say, I will not be another person who let their dreams die inside of them. I will rise. I will fight. I will push through every obstacle that dares to stand in my way. Because I know that every challenge, every hardship, every failure, is not here to break me. It is here to build me. So the question is not, will the path be hard? Of course it will. The question is, will you be strong enough to walk it anyway? Will you keep moving when everything in you wants to quit? Will you keep believing when the world tells you to stop? Because if you do, if you refuse to quit, if you refuse to let fear win, then there is nothing in this world that can stop you. You will rise. You will conquer. You will become the person you were born to be. And when you look back at this moment, you will know, this was the day everything changed. So go. Move. And never stop. You don't rise by accident. You don't become great by chance. You rise because you choose to. Because every single day, you make a decision, to show up, to push through, to fight for what is yours. Because life will not hand you success. It will not knock on your door and say, here, take this. You deserve it. No. Life will test you. It will challenge you. It will throw storms in your path and ask, how bad do you really want this? And in that moment, you will have two choices. Break, or breakthrough. You see, most people only fight when it's easy. When things are going their way. When the road is smooth. But the second it gets hard, they stop. They hesitate. They shrink. But not you. Because you know that the struggle is the price of admission to greatness. You know that pain is temporary, but regret? Regret lasts forever. You know that the only way to build something that lasts is to keep going when every part of you wants to quit. And that is what makes you different. That is what makes you unstoppable. Because you don't just fight when it's convenient. You fight when it's hard. You fight when you're tired. You fight when you failed 10 times in a row and the world is telling you to quit. Because you don't accept defeat. You don't make excuses. You rise. You adapt. You overcome. And every time you get knocked down, you don't just get back up. You get back up stronger. You take the lessons. You take the pain. You take the struggle, and you turn it into fuel. Because every setback is a setup for something greater. Every loss is a step toward victory. Every failure is just another brick in the foundation of your success. So stop fearing the struggle. Embrace it. Let it sharpen you. Let it strengthen you. Let it shape you into the person you were born to be. Because one day, you will look back at this moment and realize, this was when everything changed. This was when you stopped waiting. This was when you stopped doubting. This was when you became unstoppable. So go. Chase your vision. Fight for your dream. Stand tall, step forward, and refuse to be stopped. Because you were born for this. You have to make a choice. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Right now. Because if you don't decide to take control of your life, someone else will. The world will assign you a role, tell you who you should be, dictate how far you can go. And if you let it, it will shrink you down. It will convince you to settle for less. To accept ordinary, to abandon the fire inside of you. But you were not born to be ordinary. You were not born to blend in, to move through life unnoticed, to leave nothing behind. You were born to shake the earth beneath your feet. You were born to create, to build, to rise higher than anyone thought possible. But none of that happens if you keep waiting. Waiting for someone to recognize your worth. Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Waiting for the fear to disappear. Let me tell you something, the fear will never disappear. And that's okay. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal. It's telling you that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. It's proof that you're about to grow. And growth? That's where your power is. Because the people who change the world, the ones who break barriers, the ones who leave a legacy, they aren't the ones without fear. They are the ones who move despite it. So the next time fear tries to stop you, let it come. Let it whisper its doubts. Let it try to shake your confidence. And then stand tall, look it in the eye, and say, you do not control me. Because you are stronger than fear. You are bigger than doubt. You are built for something greater than the limits others have placed on you. But no one can prove that except you. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep waiting for permission? Keep wondering if you're good enough? Keep letting another day pass without taking action? Or are you going to rise? Are you going to own your power? Are you going to wake up and realize that everything you need is already inside of you? The time is now. Not when you're ready. Not when it's easy. Not when you have all the answers. Now. Because your future self is watching. And one day, they will either thank you for starting today, or beg you to go back and change everything. There is a fire inside of you. It has been there since the day you were born. Somewhere along the way, the world tried to extinguish it. It told you to be realistic. It told you to slow down. It told you to fit in, to stay quiet, to accept that life is just about surviving, not thriving. But that voice is a lie. Because deep down, you know the truth. You were born to do something that has never been done before. You were born to break the rules. To push the boundaries. To go beyond what anyone thought was possible. But here's what they don't tell you, greatness is lonely. There will be nights when no one believes in you. Days when you question if the fight is even worth it. Moments when you stand alone in your vision, carrying the weight of a dream no one else can see. And in those moments, you will have a choice, to break, or to break through. Because success is not built in the spotlight. It is built in the hours when no one is watching. It is built in the mornings and you wake up exhausted but refuse to quit. It is built in the silence. In the sacrifice, in the relentless pursuit of something that only you can bring to life. And that's where most people stop. They hit a wall and turn back. They let their failures define them. They trade their purpose for comfort. But not you. Because you understand something they don't, pain is the birthplace of power. The struggle you are facing right now, it is not here to break you. It is here to shape you. To sharpen your mind. To toughen your spirit. To prepare you for what is coming. Because nothing worth having comes without a fight. And this fight, this moment, it is yours to win. So stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop waiting for permission to go after what is already yours. The time for doubt is over. The time for hesitation is gone. It is time to rise. Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Now. Because the life you want is waiting for you to claim it. So step forward. Take the risk. Own your power. And when you fall, fall forward. Because this is not the end of your story. This is just the beginning. You will not rise by waiting. You will not succeed by hoping. You will rise by deciding, right here, right now, that nothing will stop you. Because the world does not belong to the watchers. It belongs to the movers. The ones who act before they feel ready. The ones who push forward even when they are scared. The ones who refuse to let hesitation steal their destiny. And if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. If you're waiting for the world to give you permission, stop. Because no one is coming to hand you your future. No one is going to build your dream for you. That is your job. And yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will push you past your limits. Yes, it will make you question whether you have what it takes. But hear me now, you do. You have more strength than you know. More resilience than you've ever used. More fire in you than the world is ready for. The only question is, will you unleash it? Or will you let it die inside of you? Because make no mistake, if you don't fight for what you want, life will give you what you settle for. If you don't take control of your story, someone else will write it for you. If you don't stand up for your dream, it will fade. It will disappear. It will become just another what if lost in time. And that is the most painful thing in the world, not failing. Never knowing. Never knowing how far you could have gone. Never knowing what you could have built, who you could have become, what kind of life you could have lived. That is the real loss. And if that thought terrifies you, good. Because it means your dream is still alive. It means there is still time. It means you can still fight. So fight. Fight for your future. Fight for your vision. Fight for the version of yourself that refuses to be forgotten. Because the only way you fail, the only way you lose, is if you stop. And you are not someone who stops. You are someone who gets up. Who keeps moving. Who takes every hit and still moves forward. Because that is what it takes. That is what separates the dreamers from the doers. That is what turns ordinary into unstoppable. And when you get there, when you stand at the top, looking back at everything you overcame, you will know. It was worth it. Every struggle. Every setback. Every night you wanted to quit. Because in that moment, you will see the truth, this was never about the goal. It was about who you became along the way. And that person is unstoppable. You have two choices in life. Wait or create. You can wait for things to get easier, wait for the fear to go away, wait for the right opportunity to magically appear, but you will be waiting forever. Or you can create. Create opportunities. Create discipline. Create the future that you deserve. Because the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent. It's not luck. It's commitment. The willingness to show up every day. To do the work. To push past the excuses. To stay in the game even when it feels impossible. Because the truth is, you won't always be motivated. There will be days when you want to quit. Days when doubt creeps in. Days when you feel like you're making no progress at all. And that is why you must build habits, not just motivation. Habits will carry you when motivation fades. Discipline will push you forward and inspiration runs dry. And when the world tests you, when you feel like you have nothing left, that is the moment when you must keep going. Because most people stop when it gets hard. But those who refuse to stop, they become unstoppable. So if you are ready to step into your power, if you are ready to become the strongest version of yourself, if you are ready to finally break through every limit that has held you back, start today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. And remember, success is not built in a single day. It is built in what you do every day. So commit to your growth. Feed your mind. Stay locked in. And to make sure you never lose focus, like this video, subscribe to the channel. And watch new motivation every day at 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. Because if you surround yourself with greatness, you will become it. Now go. Step into your destiny. And never look back.